All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Unique Adventurez. So on this episode, we are going to be talking about our experience with the recreation.gov, the ticketing system to getting into national parks, kind of our experience, what happened, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it. So stay tuned. So essentially what we're going to be talking about today is the reservation system on the recreation.gov website. If you are going into major national parks this year, this is in 2021, a lot of the hot spots, they did a reservation system, and essentially what that did was 60 days in advance to your trip, you can go online and try to buy a $2 pass that will let you into these parks during an allotment of time during the day for a 7-day window. So with us, we got our passes 60 days in advance. We were really excited about that. And the idea is that the pass will allow you entry anytime throughout the day, but you need to have that pass between 6 o'clock in the morning and I believe 5 o'clock in the afternoon for Glacier. So if you try to come into the park during that time without a pass, you're going to be turned away. So our experience the first day we went, and we specifically targeted to go into Glacier, not on a weekend, during the week, to hopefully get less crowds. We tried to do everything we could just to make sure there wasn't as many people, but it's Glacier, it's summertime, there's going to be a lot of people there. So we get to the park right about 6 o'clock in the morning. We show our pass, and then we are headed straight up the Going to the Sun Road, and we are heading up to Logan's Pass to do the Hidden Lake Trail hike up at the top there, which is probably one of the most popular hikes at Glacier. And so we got to the top probably right around 6:30 or so, and I was in total, awe. Like, I couldn't believe it. By the time 6:30 had come around, all the parking lots around there were already full completely. And we were driving around, as you can see here in the video, everybody was already there, and the ticketing system had just opened up at 6 o'clock. And so we had to actually drive around that parking lot for almost 2 hours just to get a parking spot so that we could hike Logan's Pass, which was definitely an amazing hike. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'm going to link it up here. But it kind of set the bar for the day, because we drove around and it was actually really stressful. Like, I didn't think I was going to find a spot forever. I thought it was going to take even longer, and it did. It was very frustrating. And so we go up and we're hiking the Hidden Lake Trail, and it was amazing. And we're coming back down, and it's already after lunch at this point, and we'd already been in the park for 6 hours already. So we decided we were going to go down a little bit on the backside of Logan's Pass and try to go find somewhere to go have lunch and stuff like that. We ended up having to go to like 4 or 5 different cutouts just to get a spot to pull over so we could check some views out and get to eat our lunch. It was that busy, and it was pretty insane. And then the rest of the day we decided to go back down. At this point I was really tired. I didn't want to do much more, and so we headed back down towards Red Rocks, hung out there for a little bit, and then just went back home for the rest of the day. And it just got me thinking, like, man, was this even really worth it, like getting this pass? And essentially what I'm coming down to with this is that everybody flooded the park prior to that 6 o'clock ticketing time. And that's like one of the major downfalls with this pass system is you can come in the park 3, 4, 5, 5:59. You can come into the park without a pass, and if you didn't pre-reserve those passes, everybody's just filling the park before you even have the opportunity to get there, which I think is kind of a shame, because the whole idea was to limit the amount of people in the park, and I honestly don't think that actually happened. There were people everywhere in that park, definitely more than I was thinking there was going to be. I figured some people would be coming early, but it was pretty insane. So bringing it back to day number 2, we decided the second day that we wanted to hike Avalanche. And that's another extremely popular trail, and the parking there is also really suspect. And so I figured we're not going to go first thing in the morning. We're going to try this a little bit different. We decided if people are getting there around 6 o'clock and they're flooding everything, we're going to catch the next wave of people coming down the mountain and actually going to their next destination. So we decided to get there around 9:30, 9:45. And magically, within 10 or 15 minutes of us circling the parking lot, we were able to find a spot, which was really, really good. We didn't have to wait that 2-hour time frame. Kind of set the bar for the rest of the day, where we were able to do a lot of other things, go see some stuff, and not be completely fatigued by the end of the day. So, all in all, with the pass, I think it's a good thing to be able to have that flexibility, and I think the idea is if you do get the pass, it's probably not wise to come first thing in the morning. It's just too cumbersome. There are just too many people in the park, and as the time went further along in the days, towards the afternoons, a lot of the places started to weed out a little bit. I know on the second day when we went up to the top of Logan's Pass and back and forth, by the middle to end of the day, there wasn't as many people up there. There was even a couple of parking spots up there. So the only con to that, especially during the summertime, if you're going to go hike that trail, obviously it's going to be a lot hotter up there. You're going to have to deal with that heat depending on the day, but you won't have to deal with as many people. Everybody's trying to hit that trail first thing in the morning. And it definitely, I think, would make it a little bit easier to get around the park. We were able to stay in the park a lot longer the second day and not be completely wiped out, which for us, made it really nice because we specifically came and traveled to Glacier to do these things. And I just was really kind of bummed out after the first day. So definitely for us, we feel like if you've got the pass system, come a little bit later. Don't come first thing in the morning unless you're planning on being there at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to beat the rest of the crowds in, because you're just going to run around finding parking spots, places, especially in the popular, places where people go. Maybe some of the offshoot trails, you might have some better experience, but the ticketing system is, I don't know. I think it's flawed. I think if you're going to limit people in the park, you should probably cut that time back even farther, just to make sure that you're getting the correct amount of people that you want in the park. So overall, would we do the recreation.gov pass thing again? Yeah, we would do it again. Absolutely. I think planning is always best, but in knowing that, I probably would utilize it better. I would come during, maybe later in the morning there, let that first wave of people come through and see if you can kind of time that correctly to get into some of these popular places and maybe set the precedence for the rest of your day. But that first day, it was just miserable, just, spending almost 2 hours just trying to park a car to go do a 2-hour hike. It was insane. And that's kind of what I take out of that. You can definitely, do what you want. This is just kind of our experience with it. I'm not sure if the recreation.gov ticketing system will continue into next year. If it does, you're definitely going to want to make sure you're planning properly, you're getting your tickets properly. But also know that there's a lot of people that are going to be coming through that didn't get tickets, and they're going to try to squeeze in and try to, do those things. So definitely keep that in mind. If you got something out of this video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel. Make sure you do not miss any more of our adventures everywhere we go, like Glacier National Park and all the other things that we like to do. And until then, we'll see you guys in the next adventure.